Hi, I'm Chris James, and you're watching A Healthy Alternative. Today, we're going to be talking about how to complete a successful water fast, whether you're a truck driver, a police officer, a warehouse worker, or if you just work in a strenuous environment. We've got a fast for you, and we're going to go over how to do that today. Okay, so my inbox has been completely overwhelmed, especially the truck drivers out there. So I hope you guys are watching because you've been asking me, if you're doing these long rides, 10 plus hours on the road where you have to be alert, aware, whether you're a police officer, same thing, you got to be alert, aware. You're working these shifts where your life could potentially be in danger, or someone else's life could be in danger based on you being aware and alert and things like that. Whether you're working with kids, no matter what you got going on, we're going to be looking at how to fast. And one of the things that I want to bring to the forefront of this conversation is that I know a lot of you guys, you're watching the videos and you're seeing that, myself as well as my guests and my brothers, they're doing long-term water fasting. We've been talking about dry fasting lately. And so I know that's something you guys are really interested in. You want to just jump right in and knock out this long-term water fast in order to start healing. And that's great. Zeal is always a good thing, but we always have to put things into perspective. Everybody is an individual. Everyone's lives are different. So if you work in an environment where it is very stressful, whether it's mentally, physically, spiritually stressful, when you go on your fast, you want to make sure that you're doing it in a way that you will be successful. Now, I've spoke before about water fasting. We spoke a little bit about dry fasting. We spoke very briefly about juice fasting with Tiffany. And I just wanted to throw a couple options at you guys because you can actually start fasting or at least start prepping for fasting in order to complete a long-term water fast later on down the road. One good way to prep for a water fast is to start eating whole fruits. All right. Now, this is something I suggest to a lot of people, especially if you've never done a water fast, hopping in and doing a whole fruit diet for a week or so. I mean, we're talking 5 to 7 days where you're only eating whole fruits. This will help prepare you for a fast. Now, a lot of people kind of feel like, man, that's kind of a waste of a week. No, it's not, because you'll actually start seeing weight loss as well as healing happen in that first week just from eating fruit. Now, I spoke about structured water many times, and one of the things that you do get from fruit is structured water. So it's very important to not underestimate the type of healing you can get from just switching your diet to a whole fruit diet. Now, you do that for a week, and then you can start doing either alternate day fasting, okay? And that is where you will fast one day, you will eat one day. And these are in 24-hour periods, okay? So if you start at noon on Monday, by noon on Tuesday, you can have your first meal, okay? That's 24 hours. That will allow you to start fasting without getting the really harsh detox symptoms. Plus, you've got your prep week in front of that. So that helps mitigate some of the effects even more. So you should have a very comfortable fast. And you could do alternate day fasting for a week. You could do it for 3 days. You could do it for, however long or however short you feel is necessary until you get comfortable and you move on to the next step. Okay, so the next step would probably be something like intermittent fasting. All right, you can either do intermittent fasting, or if you want to, you could do juice fasting. Now, if you choose to do intermittent fasting, my suggestion is that you definitely skip breakfast, okay? That is the most important meal of the day to skip. So, no matter what time you wake up, you don't want to be eating for roughly, I would say 5 to 6 hours after you wake up. So if you wake up at 6, you're going to be eating at noon. If you wake up at 8, you're probably going to be eating around noon. So that's about a 2-hour window there. So between 4 to 6, you want to wait 4 to 6 hours before you start eating. If you decide to go with juice fasting, you're going to want to make sure that you're getting fresh squeezed juice or even maybe cold pressed juice if that's more convenient. Obviously, getting your own juicer, juicing your own fruit, it would be better, especially because you can get exactly what it is that you want and try out different flavor combinations. But you want to make sure that you're consistent. Do not eat whole fruit when you get to this step, okay? Another way that you guys can fast, and this is kind of in between intermittent fasting and juice fasting, is you could do smoothie fasting, okay? Now, smoothie fasting is not really a real thing. It's just what I call it, where you drink water most of the day and then you supplement with smoothies. So you might have 3 smoothies a day or 4 smoothies a day, and that will help satiate you. And if you are in a position where you can have a container that can stay chilled, that would be great. You can take it with you to work, or you can put it in the freezer or whatever. I'm not really exactly sure. I'm sure there's plenty of options out there. You guys might be able to make a smoothie on the go. I mean, there's plenty of options. You can go to a juice bar. You can go to Smoothie King. If you do go to Smoothie King, stay away from like the protein powder. Stay away from all the extra stuff. You just want the fruit and the water and the ice. Okay, maybe a little agave. I'm not sure if they give that, but you want to stay away from like the extra stuff. You don't want anything extra in it. You want it as close to natural as possible. So these are some options that you guys can utilize. And I'm an electrician, right? So, and I work out in the blazing hot sun. I've worked on rooftops. I've worked in open fields with no shade, and I've done fasting all along. One of the keys to me being able to complete fasting under those circumstances is my prior weeks or my prior week leading up to the fast. I do prepping, okay? So one thing you want to do is get your body acclimated to the detox process, to the fasting process. You also want to get your mental right, so that you don't break, because it's still going to be a challenge, right? Most of the times it's still going to be a challenge. So when you get to a point where you feel comfortable, maybe you've done 2 or 3 weeks of prepping, utilizing some of the fasting methods I've mentioned, now you can start moving into your pure water fast. Now, me personally, I consider 3 days a long-term fast. Everybody kind of has their own opinion about that. But by this time, you should be all right to move into a 3-day fast without experiencing super, super harsh detox symptoms. And you should be able to perform your tasks with no issue. If you do run into issues, just keep yourself some fresh squeezed juice on the side, okay? A lot of times that fresh squeezed juice, it will bring you right back. You'll have energy, you'll have your focus, everything will be good. And I think it's a great way to supplement. Even if you're on one of your longer fasts and you don't want to break the fast completely, you can always kind of fall back to fresh squeezed juice. That's probably, in my opinion, the best alternative to pure water fasting. And it'll have the least detrimental effect on your fast. You can hit that juice, boom, go right back into your fast again. It will kind of rejuvenate you a little bit. Let's keep in mind that we want to be drinking 1 gallon of water when we're fasting, when we're doing a water fast. Obviously, when you're dry fasting, you won't touch water. I've got some dry fasting videos coming up for you guys soon, as I personally will be doing some dry fasting. I've got a lot of the women in the audience have been asking me to do interviews with more women. And I've been asking women to do interviews with me, but for whatever reason, women seem to be camera shy. So I did get my sister to agree to do an interview with me, and I will be releasing that next week, and it is going to be a very good one. All right, guys, this is what I would consider a highly anticipated video. We're going to be talking about some of the reproductive issues women face, as well as how much weight my sister lost and what was her fasting schedule, which was a lot different from the guests you have seen in the past. So it's definitely something that you want to check out. For those who are on Patreon, I will be releasing the video 3 days early, Friday or whatever it is. Is that 2 days early? So for those that are there and you've got the reward tier, you guys will get that video early, as well as pole position on comments and things like that. I want to give a thank you to Justin, Vegan Savage, for doing the video last week. It was amazing. It's helped so many people. So many people have been inspired by it. And I really appreciate you for doing that video. They've asked me to ask you if you want to do a follow-up. So I'm thinking maybe in the next 6 months or so, we might have some progress. We might do a follow-up video and check you out again. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. And as always, the application of knowledge is power, and I will see you guys next time.